Scout Cowboys. Alright, so today I'm going to show you guys a flat top on my man Sam. Our model pulled out last minute, so Sam's been kind enough to sit in the chair and get a flat top. Sam's never had a flat top, but today it's going to be a bit of fun. We're going to have some fun. So where we're at the moment is I'm going to keep it really low. I'm going to keep the zero really low, and then obviously Sam's got really nice hair to fade, so we can get like more of a blurry fade on this, and then we're going to flatten off the top. So I've just edged the bottom out, come in, edge the bottom out, create my guide, and then if I've come through and I've kind of created a bit of a U here, so we can get nice lines and get some nice contrast. I've created another line above here, so I'm going to connect these. I'm going to blend this through later. But now I'm starting to see the fade come. Foam tonic, I love it. It just helps get some lift and some volume. It helps put the hair in place and protects it from the blow dryer, the heat of the blow dryer as well. So I'm going to come through with the round brush and round it all up, push all the hair up, just keep pushing it up. Like I'll show you guys. I put it on half heat. The other thing too is nozzle, the nozzle. A straight nozzle like this. Obviously it focuses the airflow. So I'm pushing it up, constantly pushing the hair up, because I want it to all flow back. Because I'm going to come through with my clippers and cut it back against the grain. I feel like I'm physically manhandling this hair to get it where I need it to go. I need it up, I need it all directing up, I need the corners flowing up, and I need it all to meet in the back here. That way, it's just going to make my life easier when it comes to hedging it and making it flat. So now we can see how the blow dryer is straightened out that wave with the help of the foam tonic, the straight nozzle, and the force of the blow dryer. I've got the hair flowing all back. So now when I come back through this way and I look down the barrel of the haircut, straight down the center of the haircut, I can see all the hair flowing back, coming back towards me. So now I'm going to go against the grain with a wide tooth comb, and we're going to make it look nice and tight and flat, the exciting part. So it's all coming back towards me. I'm going to start, just like a fade, you want to get rid of the bulk. So you put your guideline in, and then above your guideline, you flick it out with, say, an open 1.5. I'm going to do the same with the flat top. All this hair here is going to obviously be way shorter. So I'm just going to get rid of the bulk and remove the noise so I can see where I'm going. Just on the back of the crown, and I'm just going to take that. Now this is the scary part, because you feel like once you do this, there's no going back. But it's a flat top. It's going to be a tight haircut. So we just got to get straight down to business. This is the tricky part. So now I'm going to come through, and I've got the 3-blade here as my guide. I'm going to come through with a wide tooth comb. You can't use skinny ones with this, because obviously this is where I see a lot of people come in freehand, and oh man, that scares me, because if you make one wrong move, you've got a chunk out of the top. And I personally like to safeguard myself, and when I've blow dried the hair back and I'm coming against it, it's one of the key parts. It cuts it crispy. So I'll show you. So my clipper is my comb is my guard. I'm going to come through and look down the line of the haircut. Get level with it. The whole idea of a flat top, you can't see what you're doing from up here. You need to get level, get down on eye level so you can see what you're doing. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to use my finger on the side of the head here as a guide. And see now, because I've blow dried the hair all back and I'm coming against it, it's cutting it so crispy. It's cutting it flat. Now the comb's my guide. I can't go below my comb, so that stops me from being scared when it comes to taking a chunk. And I'm just following that 3-blade. Alright. Now I've got rid of all that noise on top there, all that bulk. I'm going to start working on finessing. The finessing's the fun part with this. I want to keep it nice and square here. So I'm just going to remove by clipper over combing. Taking that weight line that the 1.5 created, open 1.5 created. I'm just going to clipper over comb that out. I'm not going to come in though. It's going to come up nice and straight, keep it square, because remember, a flat top's all about being nice and square. Everything's square lines. And coming against the grain of the hair that I blow dried back. Helps pick it up, helps make it nice and sharp. And obviously this is the weight line from the 1.5 guard. I'm just going to clipper over comb that out as well. So already I can start to see the flatty, like really, it's nowhere near finished, but I can start to see it take shape. And again, I'm picking the hair up and I'm going against the grain. So it cuts real tight, clean lines. And you've got to get on eye level with a flat top. Another huge key with doing and executing a really clean, tight flat top is getting on eye level. So I'm going to get down, I'm going to look at this line, because when your customer gets home, you've got to look at the haircut from how they're going to see the haircut. So when they get home, they're going to look straight in the mirror, and if this side comes out a little bit too much to this side, that's all they're going to see. So you need to see that and get on eye level with them. So what I do is I get down, so if you have a look now, you can see that I'll come in nice and square here. But see this side? I've come out, I've still got a bit of bulk here that I need to take off. There's got a bit of a cowlick on this side actually. I've removed all that bulk, and you can start to see I've taken the 3 blade off the crown here because we need it to roll off the back, and I've taken the bulk off the side. You can already see if you look down the barrel of the haircut, you can start to see the flat top taking shape. It's starting to come alive. So this is where the precision comes in, and this is where I don't know how people come in freehand like this. When they come in freehand and they don't use the clipper, when they don't use, the comb, I can't see how they get this side even to this side. I use the comb because it's like a spirit level almost. I come in, I keep it flat, and I look down the line and I follow my guide. So now I've created a line. I've created another line. Created another step, and I just keep following that step. Come off the front. Alright. Now we'll worry about the front at the end there. So now I'm just getting it to the point where I can finesse it. I'm using my guide. Again, we blow dried this all back, so I'm coming against the grain. So it's helping me pick the hair up with the comb, and it's helping me get it flat. So I'm not guessing. I've trusted the comb, and the comb is my guide, and I know that comb is going to stop me from taking a chunk. Just like when you're fading the side and you clipper over combing the side, you trust that comb. You know when you're clipper over combing, you can't go through the comb because that comb's stopping you from taking a chunk. The same principle applies to the top of a flat top. So when I see guys come through freehand like this, that scares me. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Like, that's cool if you do it that way and you're comfortable doing it that way, that's sweet. But personally, I get a bit scared and a bit nervous about doing that, because if I get distracted and I take a chunk, there's no coming back from that. Again, I get down look at my lines, I see a little bit of a bump here that I can level off. So again, I come through from this shoulder, working across the line. I'm going to come in nice and straight, and again, trusting my comb. My comb doesn't lie, that's straight as it gets. The comb is about as straight as you can get. Coming up, just taking those little lumpy parts off. Find the height that I want the front of the flat top. I want to sit it about there. Come in, trust the comb. Again, so now if you look down the barrel, you can see that this is nice and flat, but if you come in nice and close, you can see where I've come through with my comb. So now I'm just going to come through and take this part here with my comb and trust the comb. And look down the line, eye level. Hold it, match the middle. Hold it, match the middle. So flat tops for me were scary. They scared me back in the day. I was so scared of them, I'd dodge them. If I knew a flat top come in, or it was about to come in, I'd try and take my lunch break. But I knew deep down I had to master them, because at the time, back then, back in the late 90s and the early 2000s, there was a few more flat tops getting around than now. And it was one of those haircuts I knew I just had to master to get my ticket in barbering. So they caused me, a fair few sleepless nights, the flat top. Hugely part of Uppercut. I'm a product development still. And we sell in 60 countries, so a massive part of that is obviously getting the products compliant across 60 countries. Like, I've come out with products in the past that I've been so amped on and have pumped me right up, but I just can't get them compliant due to certain laws in certain regions with ingredients. So that takes up a lot of my time. And obviously I look after the marketing. Marketing is something that's close to my heart. And Kira, my wife, she looks after the boring stuff for me that I don't like doing, I suppose. She's the CEO. I just didn't like school at all. And then I started barbering. And in the first 6 months, year of barbering, obviously I was 15, I was thinking, what am I doing? But then I started to pick my scissors up, pick my clippers up, and just started to learn the art of barbering and the tradition of barbering, and I just fell in love with it. And it was so hard back then because there wasn't as many like-minded people around, or there wasn't obviously social media to share my passion. I couldn't share my passion with anyone. I got fart shit, bro. Everyone that's involved in Uppercut is an extended family to me. I'm so proud of how it feels. It doesn't matter, if we've got people on the other side of the world, like we're down here in Australia, and we've got friends on the other side of the world, UK, US, Canada, everywhere. So now I've blow dried it all up, I can see the inconsistencies in the flatness of it, I suppose. I can see that there's a little lump here. I need to flatten that out, I need to flatten this out, I need to finesse the front. And then obviously, you can see a bit of a lump here and then it drops down there. So I need to blow dry this up and try and get it level. Alright, so obviously we're nowhere near finished, but you can start to see the process taking shape. I think by the end of my flat tops, I've probably blow dried the hair back between 4 and 6 times. Between 4.2 and 7.3 times I blow dry the hair. I'm going to work on the fade now. I'm going to connect this fade up, try and get the fade looking nice and crispy. These clippers are like, oh, they're old, but I've just got them set so sweet that it just helps me pick out and pluck out the fade. So I just love these old ones. So I'm going to open guard and just flick out that line as best I can. Every time I come in with an open face and I put it flat against the skin and I flick it out, I just create another line. So it's just about using the corners and plucking out the fade. Close the guard now. I'm just rocking it corner to corner. Personally, there's nothing like learning in a shop. You're gonna get, and under the right leadership, I suppose. So if there's a local barber that you really respect and you want to get into the craft, just go down and hang out and sweep his floors and show him that you're keen. I'm 20-something years into this and I'm still learning. I'm still learning certain techniques. I'm still learning how to approach haircuts differently. There's no right or wrong. At the end of the day, the haircut's about the customer. Corner to corner, just working it, stepping back, looking at it. I'm trying to keep it really low and blurry and create nice transition because his hair's nice and dark and it's all laying flat and growing down. The grain's growing down, so I can sort of like work with that. There's no right or wrong on how you approach a haircut. It's just, it comes down to whether or not your customer's happy. But I suppose to come back to your question, the guys that are stoking me out at the moment and they're just executing classic styles so well are the guys in the Ukraine. They just come through, get down to eye level. It's kind of back-breaking stuff, and there's times where you find yourself holding your breath because you want to get it crispy, but it's worth it at the end. And obviously I've never given Sam a flat top before, so this wasn't means tested. Obviously, for thick, coarse hair, got to go with the classic, the Deluxe. I love it. It was the first product we developed. Just makes the front here lift and pop. Alright, now we'll comb it through. And this is where you get to see if you've blow dried it right and you've cut against the grain right, because you can, when you comb it out, you can see if there's any high spots on the flat top. And that's where I sort of come through sometimes with the scissors and just sort of straighten it out. For this one, I always start with the uppercut rake comb, just to rake it through and just levels it out and pushes it through smoothly. And obviously this is quite a high flat top, got a bit of a front to it. So if you just look down the barrel there, you can see what we're working with. This is where I comb it all up. pretty flat at the top. I'm stoked. That there is a flat top on a head of hair I've never done a flat top on before. I was a bit nervous, but I think we've pulled it off. Look down the barrel, chin down. You can see how I've just worked off the back here, just like you would with a fade. I've just followed the guide and trusted my comb. And the comb is the part that gets this nice and flat. Ta-da!